Hello and welcome to the Comic Conspiracy episode 457, almost at 200, 457 for the week of Tuesday, June 23rd, 2020. My name is Ryan Higgins. Who's here with me this week?
And Brock Sager.
Oh, no. No.
Oh, shit.
Two-man podcast.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
This is what you dread. Like, this is what you dread.
Toby is on his way. That's what he said. He said he's going to join in a little late. He has to eat. But he's going to suffer with me and Brock for right now. So take it to old school.
Old school, baby.
Old school. It's been a week. It's been a week for comic book news.
When hasn't it been a week for comic book news? Like,
well, this is a bit of a different way than crazy distributor news or movie news or what have you. This is the other type of comic news.
Bad passings and all that stuff. No,
the bad comic news. So let's look. I don't want to do all this stuff for too long. I'm sure we're going to hear more about all this over the course of the next. It's probably never going to end. But comic books had their. Well, they've had a few of these in the past, but this was like their hashtag Me Too week for the comic book industry, as a lot of especially mostly women in the industry decided that enough was enough, and instead of while this would be the time where people are getting ready to go to Comic-Con and prepping for all the big summer conventions and stuff, they decided, instead, how about we talk about how scummy some of the men in the comic book industry are at cons, but also, just in the regular workplace. So, there's this kind of this in any industry, this sort of like what they call like a whisper network, right? Where specifically women, but there's the people talk about who the bad people in the industry are and who to stay away from. Yeah. And so, unfortunately, not everyone's always a part of this, and there shouldn't be one of these anyway. People shouldn't feel afraid to talk to bosses or, work with people when in the industry. But unfortunately that is, that's just not the case most times. So we had multiple, big name people in the comic industry all kind of outed as, having cases of sexual misconduct or sexual harassment.
Ryan, they were outed as being douchebags.
Well, yeah, sure. That's one way to put it, I guess. But,
we can get into specifics if you really want.
Yeah, and even the specifics. Most of this, in a lot of cases, comes down to, especially from a few of these people, from what they call grooming, right? Where basically older men taking advantage of younger women entering their field, and they sort of, I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to prop you up, and I'm going to get you jobs, and then abuse them for sexual relations. To in the case of, we'll jump right into Warren Ellis. In the case of Warren Ellis, I've kind of always joked that he has no attention span. He can't stay on a project longer than 6 issues or whatever. Seemingly the case here with women too, because his history of lots of young girlfriends is not exactly private as far as I knew. I've heard about this, but guess I didn't realize it was quite as bad as it was. So Warren Ellis, writer of Transmetropolitan, current writer of Batman's Grave for DC. He's obviously done a lot of big books for Marvel, DC, Image, every independent company. Lots of accusations of some pretty strong sexual misconduct with a lot of very young women in the comic industry, 19, 20, 21, kind of grooming them, trying to, claiming he'd help them out in the industry, get them jobs or what have you. And, a lot of this led to some sexual relationships and then dropping them, and just kind of this endless parade of women that he did this with. This was right on the heels of what kind of started all this past week. Cameron Stewart, artist and writer on, again, done a lot of comics for all the companies. More recently, kind of his bigger claim was the reintroduction of Batgirl, New 52, the Burnside Batgirl story with Babstar. So that was kind of his big, in the last couple of years, that was kind of his big story.
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, he's Canadian. In Canada, age extends 16, so that's even a couple years younger than us, 18 in America. So that makes it a little bit sketchier. That definitely a little bit sketchier.
A little bit sketchier?
Yeah,
it's just sketchier. Full on.
So lots of just very bad behavior with very young women who were fans and getting into the comic industry and were with Cameron Stewart too. It seems a little bit more predatory, a little bit. Obviously I don't know a lot of the details of the Warren Ellis one, but they're reading some of the things that Cameron Stewart has been accused of seems a little bit more severe. Not that the Warren Ellis stuff isn't bad. Just there's not great. Not great for many of these guys. Brendan Wright, and he's actually someone I'm not super familiar with. He was an editor at Dark Horse. He's worked on a bunch of comics, and he was working on an anthology that was coming out recently. So he's been around. When all this was happening, they're like, all right, we're just going to start naming names. So his name came up. Yep. Charles Brownstein, who was the head of the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund. This was years ago. It was 14 years ago, not 14 years old. 14 years ago, he was accused of sexual harassment. And the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund kept him as the executive director of the Legal Defense Fund. So he stayed with the company. And in recent years has been under pressure from some creators kind of privately to drop him because of his actions in the past. And in this past week, now very publicly under pressure to drop him, which he resigned. The Comic Book Legal Defense Fund did not fire him, or they did not let him go. So some people are not very happy with the Legal Defense Fund because their kind of letter was a little bit weak.
Well, I mean, didn't the article that you shared with us was like the Comic Legal Defense Fund that backed Milo, whatever his douchebaggy last name is?
Oh, the Legal Defense, dude, I've supported them in the past. I was a member for a long time. I believe in their kind of main goal, at least I used to. Yeah. The last few years, they've made some bad calls. And I mean, I'm sure I heard about the Brownstein thing in the past. I just don't remember it. Nothing came of it. So, what are you going to do? Like, they didn't let him go. Milo, yes. They defended his book, which was horrible, like a horrible decision. It's not about being left or right. It's about being right or wrong. And in that case, they were dead wrong because he's an absolute scumbag. Yeah. And it's full of lies and it's not something that should be defended.
His whatever his book was in, his book was just trash and garbage and written for, basically racist assholes to get off on these lies and stuff like that. And it's like, you can't defend that stuff. We have to, racism, done. Nope, bye. Like, I think that's,
yeah. And then finally we're just going to round out the week because it's like every day there's someone else. So now Spider-Gwen co-creator Jason Latour, again, same thing. He's worked for every company, done tons of stuff, funny people. More accounts of sexual harassment from him, more specifically at the 2017 Thought Bubbles Festival in Leeds. So definitely propositioning some very, very young people within the industry and continued harassment past the time when they were denied, and clearly not good stuff. Look, I'm a 40-year-old straight white dude. I'm never gonna understand what these people go through, right? I just, guys, you got to be better. Like, don't be scumbags. Well, I'm sure I've done and said dumb shit. Leanne's sitting right there. I'm sure she can tell me. I'm definitely sure I've done dumb shit, but be conscious of it. And man, just.
Well, the difference is like, she said no. That doesn't mean she's like, making fun of you. She just said no. Like, you asked and the answer was no. Like, all right, move on. Like,
yeah. Well, I mean, he definitely with Jason LaTorre, the claim is that he was pretty, like almost want to like pay her in like comics for sex and stuff, and it's like, come on, guys, like, why would you ever do that? I don't know.
I think part of the problem I think that this stems from, and this is a systemic problem in the comic book industry, is there's no the avenue to get into comics is who you know and who you mingle with and who you talk to, right? There's no agents that are saying, hey, I got this writer that can,
there are, but not to the degree of other
it's not like the book industry. It's not like the movie writing industry. It's you do the bar crawls after the conventions and you have to like talk to people and all this stuff. And it's not a healthy environment for women, especially when you just have douchebaggy men,
Well, the cons, I mean, there a couple of the women that were responding to these accusations, or talking about these accusations, and just talking about the way they're treated in the industry in general. They're like, guys, cons for work. Like, you guys treat it like it's a party, and it's okay to have fun, but like, people get just fucking wasted. And man, so I don't go to a lot of cons. I used to, right? But it was just go, right? Going to Comic-Con last year, I was there really for work, right? I mean, I was there almost entirely to do work-related stuff.
Well, we got nominated for...
Yeah, for the Eisners and everything.
For the Eisners and stuff.
Holy shit. I was so exhausted, just like in a regular day. These people have time to like do. You're there to work. You're signing. You're working at the convention all day. You're going to these parties. You're hobnobbing, and then you're gonna like, oh, I have the energy to also like harass these women. Like, come on, like, go back to your hotel room and just crash. Like, what are you doing? Like, I have the energy to do this crap at conventions. So, like I said, I don't want to go on about this for too long. This is obviously terrible behavior. Obviously, DC's had problems with this in the past by having, I'm going to blank on his name. Should have looked it up earlier. One of their editors was...
Oh, that scumbaggy douche?
Yeah. You look it up for me. I forget the guy's name. He had all these accusations of bad behavior with women in the workplace. And so, of course, what do? They just don't hire the women. And they put him off in a corner and he keeps working. Like, that sort of behavior just is unacceptable these days. In cases like Warren Ellis. Eddie Berganza, yeah. Eddie Berganza, thank you. In the case of guys like Warren Ellis and Karen Stewart, I mean, they have a history of work. It's tough to distance yourself from a book like Transmetropolitan or Planetary Authority, which are really formative books from the 2000s for the industry and personal favorites of mine. I've been a little distracted, a little uninterested in Warren Ellis's recent work on a whole anyway, so easy enough for me to write off his new stuff. Dumping his old stuff is a choice everyone has to make on their own. I think it'll be tough to, is it fair to Derek Robertson or is it fair to the artist? It's just like Ethan Van Sciver with Jeff Johns' Green Lantern book, right? I mean, it really sucks. He'll never work in the industry again. That dude's an absolute asshole. But is it fair to cancel the old stuff and just have it vanish into the void? I don't know. Supporting new work, a lot easier to step back and say, look, sorry, Warren, it's tough. You're going to have a hard time getting a job. He's working on, I'm assuming, season 4 of Castlevania, right? Season 3 came out, right? Or is 3 coming out? No, I think 3 already came out. I mean, he has multiple book deals. He does obviously a lot of comics. I don't know where this puts him.
Well, the funny thing is you know how they're releasing those Absolute Transmetropolitans, or the deluxe ones? Yeah, they're not going to finish that.
Well, again, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say for sure.
Well, knowing DC's track record with not finishing things, I'm just going with they won't finish it.
They released the Jeff Johns Green Lantern stuff, and Ethan Van Sciver does most of those covers, right? I mean,
yeah.
Obviously, if Derek Robertson came out and said, DC, I do not want you to release Transmetropolitan, then I understand. But I'm not gonna hold Derek Robertson to that. To something, or what's his face on John Cassaday on Planetary, or Brian Hitch on Authority, right? I mean, I'm not gonna hold
the artists accountable.
Yeah. I mean, they don't. Hopefully, they don't have anything to do with it. Obviously, Babs Tarr working with Cameron Stewart for years on, and she was a major part of that book, obviously, and is now very against Cameron Stewart and his actions. Right? She's one of the most outspoken people during this thing, because she worked directly with him, has obviously known him for a long time. So, yeah,
well, I think
companies have tough decisions ahead, what they want to do with the older material of these guys. Readers have a tough decision, what they want to continue to read or continue to support. This won't be the last by far. This is never going to end. I mean, you're going to continuously have accusations and bad people doing bad stuff. So just try to be better as an industry, guys.
Be better as people. Yeah.
It's real tough. It's real tough to see this happen, especially people, because there are some times where I'm like, okay, well, I did the scumbag. Okay, no surprise, right? I hated the guy anyway. Perfect.
Yeah.
Like Warren Ellis,
like Ron Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy. Yeah, Ron Jeremy got arrested for like sexual assault and all this crap today. Like,
what?
He got. Guy? Yeah. He got, not good. And that's a dude that I'm sure like psychology of what's going on in that guy's head. Who even knows? Because not to excuse any of his actions, of course.
Do you really want to know?
Not to excuse any of his actions, but man, the porn industry's got to screw with you so bad. No pun intended. Just, that cannot be fun or good for someone like him. Did it for so long. Getting no pun intended. That's what she said. Sorry, I'm watching a lot of The Office recently,
okay.
and just
if Leanne's looking at you, thinking about hitting you across the head, she can do it. It's fine.
That's fine. Yeah, she'll smack me if I say something really stupid.
Okay, just making sure.
Can we move on to more fun topics?
I mean, if by fun you mean, I don't know what you mean by fun topics. Like, No Neck Batman. Are we talking about No Neck Batman?
I got some fun topics here. There's a rumor. So the 17th version of the Flash movie that's never going to be made, that's going to have the 87th director attached, because this Flash movie is just never going to happen. But the most recent rumor is that none other than Michael Keaton himself will be returning with the Batsuit.
Yeah.
As an older Batman. Now, they've continuously talked about the Flash movie involving with the parallel dimension, alternate reality, New 52 creating Flashpoint storyline. So, I don't know if obviously this is just rumor, clearly. There very well could be Batman or Flash goes into the future. Maybe this is Thomas Wayne, button Batman, right?
I mean, it like maybe the article that you sent us said it was like Barry changes to go back and save his mom, and it changes to this, and I'm like, that seems like a weird.
Well, that's what Flashpoint I mean, that's kind of what happened, right? So, I mean, right, whether he ends up in an alternate reality, however they go about this, again, this is all rumors. There's nothing for sure. Look, I would love this as like the 7th Flash movie. Why are you starting with Flashpoint? That makes no sense to me. Like, it never made sense to before.
They're really, really trying to get rid of Batfleck.
Well, they already have. I mean, he's not coming back. I think there's a couple of Michael Keaton in a Batman Beyond movie. Awesome.
Yeah,
that's perfect, right?
Yeah.
I don't mind if there's a Flash movie where Michael Keaton shows up as a cameo as Flash's travel in the multiverse. That's great.
Yeah,
right? That's what
that fits perfectly with like Flash's abilities and the stories that have been told with Flash, and just adding a little nice egg of a caveat to the film.
But my fear is this becomes a Batman movie. This isn't a Flash movie,
Batman and
right?
the Flash.
Yeah.
Batman the button, and then in small parentheses underneath with the Flash.
With the Flash. You can have the Flash. You can have a quick origin of Barry Allen. You can acknowledge Justice League and the events from that briefly, and then you just introduce the Rogues, and he fights a bunch of Rogues, and that's your movie. That's all you need for a good Flash movie. You don't need.
Well, I think that for a Flash movie, like you said, I think a good year one story would work really well.
I mean, I do agree. You kind of get through the origin stuff. I don't want those like endless origin movies like we've had in the past. But you did have his origin in Justice League for the most part. They not the full thing, but they acknowledge enough to give you the character if they're going to continue the same actor and everything.
But I'm saying like you don't need to expand on it much more. Just do the refresher kind of course thing, but kind of do like a year one of him, in the suit and getting comfortable with it. Pick. Like Joshua Williamson picked the Turtle and had that whole thing with like
he's in the
future,
first. Yeah, I mean, Turtle
story.
The first Barry story,
right?
Well, even in Suicide Squad, right? I mean, they acknowledge that the Flash and Captain Boomerang have had interactions. So that's they could pretty quickly just be like, "Yep, a couple of years passed since Justice League. I've done all this crazy stuff in Central City, and now I've got the Flash Museum, and those Rogues are at it again." I mean, they could just zip through his early years.
They could just speed through it,
and not just draw it out forever. But yeah, if this is even a 5-minute cameo and is just to sort of set Barry on his path, fine. But if it's a Batman movie that the Flash just happens to be in, like, come on. Like, we already have those. We don't need that. I love Batman, but this is a Flash movie.
Yeah.
Let's just have Flash. We have some other comic booky things. We got some Patreon questions, too.
You actually posted Patreon questions?
I did. Yeah, I remember this time.
Wow.
So we got the full release of the... first of all, I should say, For Comic Day is back. So
I wouldn't say it's back. I would say it's
Free Comic Book Summer.
It's a multi-week event there, multi-month event even.
So if you're not familiar with Free Comic Book Day, it's a day where they have free comic books. It comes out every year.
Normally the first Saturday in May is when when Free Comic Day happens. Yeah,
first Saturday in May, and it usually aligns with a Marvel movie, although the last couple of years they had moved those movies ahead a week, so it was end of April. But that aside, so Free Comic Day is a big day for comic book stores, and they had just started to ship the Free Comic Book Day books this year when the coronavirus hit and the industry shut down. So clearly, we did not have a Free Comic Book Day on Saturday, May 2nd, when Black Widow did not come out. So...
there's still a Black Widow movie that needs to come out.
Thousands of cases of Free Comic Book Day books have been hanging out, and Diamond said, all right, we're starting to ship again. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to send a selection of Free Comic Book Day books every week for 9 weeks starting July 15th, starting with X-Men, Marvel's X-Men book. This also is the start of Marvel's weekly shipping again. So July 15th, big day if you're a Marvel fan.
Bless you.
So that is going to be when the Free Comic Day books start to come back out again. Now look, this is a Free Comic Book Day. We can't, all right?
Yeah.
We were given the chance to drop our orders. And honestly, I mean, I dropped my orders to next to nothing for these books. We don't have a way to give them out.
Because the thing, like, we would normally order for the local library. Like, we would order for, I think, 2 libraries? But
three, and I got no response from 2 and a pass from 1.
Yeah.
So
and the thing
they can't do anything with them.
Yeah, the Sunnyvale library that's right next to us at the shop. I mean, it's you get your book. You can basically order to pick up a book outside the library. They're not doing anything. They're trying to avoid contact as much as possible.
And if they had the money, they could sit on these and use them later. But I'm going to assume libraries are probably suffering pretty dramatically right now. So
you know what we could do? We could take some money from the police and redistribute that to the library so they could get some free Comic Day books to give out to some people to encourage reading.
I do feel bad for the companies because I don't exactly know what happens. They've paid for these books, so they're sitting on, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of copies of these books that are now not going to be ordered by stores. So comic book companies, hopefully you got this figured out because I don't know what to tell you. I'm very, very sorry. However,
I just want Horizon Zero Dawn Zero. It's on July 22nd. That's all I'm looking
July 15th. If you are really excited for some of these comic books, you may want to go to your local shop. I'm going to run through the list real quick. I mean, it's long, but I'll go through it pretty fast. Be aware that most comic book stores, I assume, are not ordering these or ordering them in very limited quantities. So I would contact them as soon as possible because we've already had to order the July 15th books, right? Power Rangers, My Little Pony, X-Men, Captain Canuck, Asterix, and Weirin. Those are all coming out on July 15th. So if, again, the X-Men, the Spider-Man, I'm sure are going to be in. We ordered a lot of them to give away to our regular customers, right? But we're not going to have a lot on the shelf. July 22nd. So these are ordered basically every Monday. These books are going to go up for order. So those books were this previous Monday. The July 22nd books are this upcoming Monday. So let your comic store know immediately if you want any of these. It's the Valiant 30th anniversary. Dark Arc from Aftershock, the Manhwa Korean Comics anthology from Drawn Quarterly, Spider-Man Venom from Marvel Comics, and Horizon Zero Dawn from Titan. So, and then just go one Monday ahead for all of these.
Yeah.
July 29th is the Archie comic, Dark Horses, Stranger Things, and Minecraft, the Batman Overdrive, and Batman Once Upon a Crime from DC. That's they're
doing a flip book to replace the Generations.
Well, we'll get to that. Oh. Dynamite is The Boys. Golden Apple has The Monster Show, and RH Graphics has Stepping Stone and Max and the Midnights. August 5th is Resistance from AWA, Lumberjanes from Boom, The Tick from New England Comics, and yes, Charlie, I will order you one. Zoo Patrol Squad from Penguin, Bibi and Miyu, and The Fox and the Little Tanuki from Tokyo Pop, and Invincible, reprint #1 from Image. August 12th is Dark Horse's North Mythology, which is the Neil Gaiman book in Critical Role. Albatross has Hillbilly. It's what's the guy's name? I can't remember who does Hillbilly. You know the guy. This guy does Goon. Same guy. Drawn Quarterly has Little Lulu. Oni Press has the mixtape, and Titan has Blade Runner 2019. I think that's just a reprint #1, if I'm not mistaken. Where am I? August 19th. Investigators from Macmillan and First Second, the Donald Duck Disney Masters from Fantagraphics, and those are always very popular. Paper Cuts has Loud House, which is, I think, an anthology. Udon has a Street Fighter, Ryu vs. Chun-Li, so that's going to be another one that's going to be really popular. The CBLDF and Boom defend comic books from the CBLDF. And Gemstone has the Overstreet Guide to Collecting. Those are usually pretty fun, too. August 26th has Random House's Only a Matter of Space-Time, Donut the Destroyer from Graphics, Best of 2000 AD from Rebellion, Dark One from Vault, and Usagi Yojimbo from IDW. The Jack Kirby Epic Life of the King of Comics from 10 Speed Press. This is all September 2nd. Owly from Graphics, Mean Girls from Insight, Naruto from Viz, and Lady Mechanica from Bennett's Production. And finally, September 9th, the Zelda and Splatoon flipbook from Viz, Inkall from Humanoids, and Su-In Tai-Chan from Kodansha. So those are all the books that are coming out for Free Comic Day.
Now, are those going to be like on FOC?
Those are on FOC every Monday.
Okay. Sweet.
So make sure you order them from your local comic shop if they are offering them. We are not really. The Marvel and DC and like the major ones, we're getting all those in at least roughly double quantity of what we get of the regular title. So I ordered like double my X-Men numbers on the Free Comic Day book. Yeah. Right. So everyone that gets X-Men will get that. Plus, we'll have double copies to give out. Something like Horizon Zero Dawn, again, we're going to get, like 30 or 40 copies because that's fine. It's the little stuff that, I'm sorry, but it's just stuff we don't carry in the store. It's stuff we don't sell. Yeah. It's stuff that we're never going to sell. So, that stuff I'm not ordering. But, Brock.
Yes.
There's a book
missing
from this list.
Yes.
DC's Generation Zero, Gods Among Us.
God's no longer with us, baby.
So I think we can now officially say DC Generations is dead.
5G is no more.
Yeah, we've had solicitations that would have normally gone through this July for September, right? And Generations is not on this list. And now with the cancellation of the Free Comic Day book, the assumed cancellation of the Free Comic Day book, Toby's here.
Toby is here.
I don't know. Is he on mic?
Yeah.
Hey, there he is, Toby. Toby, Generation 5, G5, and the Free Comic Day book, no more. It's gone. Ooh. It's over. Now, there's hundreds of cases of this. Yeah, they're going to pulp them, but I'm just saying... Hey, if you work at Diamond, why don't you send a case of these over to a Comic Conspiracy? Not going to sell them. Not going to give them away. Just send a few over to me so I can take a look at them. Just, a couple copies. Just want to see what we missed. Okay? Just want to see what we missed.
You know what you're going to have missed is the greatest comic experience of your life that even beats the honeymoon comic experience you had. That's what you missed.
It is a reprint, except it does expand on the Flash Forward story arc. So I'm sure
it's stuff that's going to make your head go boom.
I hope. I mean, we will very, very light spoilers here for Death Metal #1, right? But we got Wally in there, right? So they're and we'll talk about Death Metal more as the story goes on. I'm assuming he was always in there. I don't think they changed it like last minute. I'm sure he's always was supposed to be a part of it. But I want to see what those added pages were going to be because that book ends on a pretty crazy note, and I want to see what they were doing with Wally because he's now bouncing around the universe as 1/3 Flash, 1/3 Metron, 1/3 Dr. Manhattan. So that's a
And the Wally fans are still freaking out that they've killed Wally. It's the worst thing ever. Like
Flash fans, just the worst. Wally's fine. You don't think he's gonna look? I don't care when they screw around with characters, as long as they eventually bring him back better. Unless it's the New Warriors, then they just
or Superboy Prime. I mean, that's just a garbage.
Oh no,
character.
This is. I mean, they've talked about a metal the redemption of Superboy Prime. Like it's coming. He's in those one shots. Oh,
it better be some good stuff because I hate that character.
Oh, I'm sure you'll hate him even more.
Probably.
So yeah, Free Comic Day, Generations.
No, Free Comic Summer, man. Got to start saying it right.
Summer.
You got to advertise. You got to be like, come in 5 at a time, 1 copy. Buy something and get another book.
Oh, Toby, we know we talked about this beforehand, and you just missed our conversation about it. Mm-hmm. So if you have anything you would like to add, we did talk about the Michael Keaton coming back potentially. Birdman. Do you want to add
Vulture?
Do you want to add anything to our conversation before we move on to our final story here?
No, I don't know what you guys talked about, but I'm actually down for it. I thought it'd be very interesting to see him back as a more serious Batman, and not that his wasn't serious, but I think he's Thomas Wayne. Honestly, if they're doing the whole Flashpoint thing, I don't think they should be doing that movie now. Like Justice League and Suicide Squad was way too early. I think Flashpoint is way too early because the normals are be like really confused on what's going on. Even if we prime them with the CW shows with Infinite Earths and all this, and alternate Earths and stuff like that, but
they already did Flashpoint on CW.
What?
They did the Flashpoint story on Flash on the CW already.
Yeah,
no,
kinda.
There's a Miller movie, so I don't know. I mean, there's rumors that Negan is going to be Batman anyways. That there might be 2 of them, so who knows? I mean, rumors are just rumors. If it's 10 years later, I would absolutely love to see Keaton as old man Batman with Terry McGinnis doing a Batman Beyond movie. I always wanted Clint Eastwood as a old man Batman, but he's getting up there in age, so having Keaton, an actual Batman, previous Batman, to be old man Batman, that'd be awesome. So look. Well, it's always hard to even talk about stuff that's just even rumored or might or might not happen, or what even their ideas are to begin with, right? I mean, I could totally see him being Thomas Wayne. Have you guys seen Desperate Measures, where he's like totally manipulating people from basically from his jail cell and stuff? I could see him being a really cool Thomas Wayne Batman. So, or Bruce. I mean, bring it back. I'm down.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd said, I love time travel and alternate realities and all that crap, but I don't want this to be a Batman movie if it's a Flash movie, and I don't, I feel like that's not where you start with the Flash,
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. It's going to be too confusing, right? The money comes from the normals, so
yeah, alternate realities and like they have no concept of the regular one. Like an alternate reality, an Elseworld is cool because you have the regular books to compare it to. Yeah. Flashpoint makes no sense as a first Flash movie if it's all about alternate dimensions. The whole idea would be you get people that have been in the other movies and you do it different, you do it weird, and that's why I like that What If, the cartoon, the one coming up from Marvel. Like, I'm really excited for that because they have all the actors doing all the voices.
Yeah.
And that could be really neat, right?
Yeah.
I think that could be really cool because, again, we have a knowledge of these characters. Now, they could just go and do what Crisis did on the TV show and just say, yeah, we're just going to pretend like this is the 89 Batman universe. And so, okay, people would have a context for it, but
yeah.
But then
I'm telling you,
not a Flash movie anymore, right?
Well, I'm telling you, what really happened at WB is, besides him being 89 Batman, is they watched this Assassin movie, where he's totally Batman, where he totally has a bad Robin and a good Robin. And I think it's called American Assassin. Oh, man, I can't remember the title right now. It's Assassin something. But yeah, it's pretty much a Batman movie that's not a Batman movie. Okay. And they're like, oh, we need him back.
Well, he's great. He was great in Spider-Man.
I think he's
great in Birdman.
And Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like him as an actor, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's fantastic. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, obviously, this movie won't get made because we'll have like 19 more Flash movies produced or starting production before anything even happens.
Toby, you were right. It was American Assassin.
Okay.
It came out in 2017, same year as Spider-Man: Homecoming.
You're talking about Negan.
Yeah.
What a great unintentional segue to our final topic.
Excellent. That's what I'm here for sometimes.
Out of nowhere, Robert Kirkman, writer of The Walking Dead and artist Charlie Adler, said, hey, we're going to return to The Walking Dead for a one-shot. And hey, it's only going to be a print comic book that goes to comic book stores. No digital. No graphic novel. Well, I don't know, maybe down the road, but at least nothing now. Oh, hey, by the way, it's also out next week. Or, well, technically 2 weeks. That's the point it came out. But Negan Lives, #1, is coming directly to comic book stores July 1st. So a week and a day from recording. It's going to focus on where Negan was from the last time you saw him, and kind of give a little closure to that character. And they're also providing us with extremely rare gold and silver versions. And boy, howdy, let me tell you, those prices on eBay are out of control. So I've put some up myself, and hopefully they show up undamaged and they sell. I've already sold one of them. So what I'm saying is thank you, Robert Kirkman, for making me more money again.
Yeah, you say thank you, I say fuck you, because I just completed all the hardcovers of the entire Walking Dead run. So now you're telling me there's one more issue?
Well, there's also a couple specials that weren't collected, Toby.
Yeah, I don't know if those were ever collected in the hardcovers.
Well, he better do enough material for an extra bonus hardcover that added to the end of that. Because otherwise, I'll put him in the Madeira category of never finishing his work.
How many copies of Battle Chasers do you have?
Battle Chasers do you have?
I have almost every single version. I might be missing a couple of covers, but the fucker better one of these days finish that book. I even got the expensive hardcover.
So, big crazy week comics.
Well, I think the best thing about that Negan Lives #1 is that it's free for comic book stores. You're not getting charged any. The only thing you're really getting charged for is freight. But
yeah, traditional retail price. We're not upcharging.
$3. I have to get double-sided tape and put it on the back side of the hardcover.
Now do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just place it in with double-sided tape.
That's great.
So we need somebody to post in the Facebook group all the extra one-shots and stuff that are not collected for Toby to track down. And I think some of those are included in those Image Plus issues from the Previews magazine.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Remember Image Plus? What happened there?
I'm sure they're gonna be able to do a companion book.
Yeah. I'm sure they will.
Because they did that with Avatar. They did have a couple other books too.
We got some listener questions.
Yep, we got some Patreon questions. We're gonna get through these. Verum Libertas asked, just baiting me here. Did the shutdown kill the momentum around Hickman's X-Men story, or was it already pretty much a dud? Oof. That's some fighting words. Did I write this? Look, we talked about this a little bit last week. House of Powers was fantastic, and then when the regular issues came out, and I'm like, really? Oh, they're still doing this? This is really what they're going to go with? Okay, let's see. And we're, 70 issues in? Something like that to this thing? Between all the issues, all the books? It's a shitload of X-Men comics have come out.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, roughly, right? I don't know how much longer they keep this up. Hickman's idea is cool, but I just can't see the rest of the book sticking around.
It's like
but if the sales are okay, they'll keep them.
The whole Moira thing just went poof.
It just disappeared, yeah.
And then, the main X-Men book kind of just did these one-shot things that were introducing things, and it was one issue was okay, the other was really bad, and then another issue was great, and then another issue was bad, and it didn't have much consistency to it, except kind of to be like, hey, there's this, we're going to deal with these horticulture weird ladies at some point, right? And apparently, as of issue 1, everybody can break into Krakoa when they're not supposed to be able to do it. I don't know. I think the steam was dying on Hickman's run, and then COVID hit.
Well, I don't know where we got so much time still to go until we hit X of Swords, Swords of X of Swords. So it is 10 of Swords, and then that is months of a crossover. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're so far ahead. I have to assume that they're sticking with this. They're not going to dump it. So this is your X-Men books for quite some time. We'll see where they go. See if they ever get back to the Moira stuff.
What about that Moira miniseries?
Yeah, one day it'll happen. Is your dog? Your dog?
Oh, that weird noise? My dog's dreaming. He makes a weird noise sometimes when he dreams.
From Tyler, he says, I have some omnibus questions for you. Tyler Willits, of course.
Oh, but the mighty Charlie, the Omni King, is not here.
I know. That's all right. We'll cover for him. Toby, how big are those books you pulled out of the store today?
Oh, Jesus Christ, man. I could, like, 2 of them I could barely lift.
What were they, the king size? There's a king size, like, Stanley one or whatever?
They're pretty nutty, man. I don't even know what to do with them because I don't know where to put them. So I like books in the same size. I'm a big firm believer in, like, the omnibus size. The absolutes kind of annoy me because they're slightly taller, so like it puts my Billy book shelves in a weird kind of rotation. Because if you just collect omnibuses and trades, you could put the Billies in like an even spacing. But if you have absolutes or if you have those Dark Horse hardcovers, you have to put the bottom one, or at least I put the bottom one a little higher, which means that you can only put trade on the second from the bottom, that you can therefore put omnibuses again or deluxe size on the next shelf over. So it throws everything off. But for many years, I had this Drew Struzan book that I think Dreamwave put out of all people, but I'm a big Drew Struzan fan who did all those movie posters. And that book was super tall, and I always had issues with that book. So sadly, now I have a new problem because these king-size books are even bigger. So I may have to leave them on the floor somewhere.
Yeah, I have a couple of the Toshin books, some of the Disney ones and the DC one, and they are absolutely humongous.
Yeah.
So
To be honest with you, with the Marvels, I'm actually kind of looking forward to it in that crazy big ass size. But I'm not so sure what I did with that Stan Lee there. That might have been a mistake, but we'll see.
I literally have mine next to my bookshelf, just stacked on top of each other because they're so big.
Yeah, I might have to do the same. At least they come in slipcase, so they're slightly protected if you leave them on their own. So that's cool.
Yeah. Well, he says I'm almost done with the John Byrne She-Hulk.
Yes,
which just came out.
Wait, he never read it before?
Oh, I don't know. He's just because he talks about having read some of these in the past.
He's a huge She-Hulk fan.
Yeah, but he says, I'm almost done reading it.
Yeah.
So which of these should I read next? Aquaman by Jeff Johns, which he's never read.
Uh-huh.
Doom Patrol by Grant Morrison, which he's never read.
Uh-huh.
DC 1 Million by Grant Morrison, which he's never read. And Batman by Grant Morrison, volumes 1, 2, and 3. 3's coming out soon. I've read this Batman run so many times. I have the singles, the trades, the absolutes, and now the omnibuses, but I love it so much. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, I sense a theme in those books. They all have, like, a name in common.
Did I write this post, too?
Are you posting as, like, our Patreon people just asking questions?
I'm all of our Patreon members. Of all those, read Doom Patrol. I mean, I love Morrison Batman, but
I picked up the soft covers of that stuff, and I'm on. I got through one, and that stuff is amazing. It was just fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to get through the rest of it. And speaking of Doom Patrol, that second season starts on Friday or Thursday.
Yeah. I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait.
Wait, does it mean Stargirl is already done?
No. Stargirl has a couple episodes left. They're on. Is this 6? I think this was 6.
I thought they don't overlap shows, but all right.
I think they may have. Well, they pushed Stargirl back.
Oh,
at least a week or two.
Oh, okay.
So, but I think Doom Patrol. That thing is massive, by the way, too. That Doom Patrol omnibus is absolutely outrageous.
How's that John Byrne one? I'm actually really curious about the John Byrne one.
We got it. I just haven't. We sold it. I haven't seen it like open, but yeah, Tyler. Send us a message. Let you know. He says also with
I have a question about that She-Hulk, man. That book came and went because it's actually one of the books I wanted to buy, but that just disappeared, man. That was like it was available.
It came out like right after the like right before the shutdown, maybe, or right after the shutdown.
No, it came out like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Sorry. Yeah. No, you're right.
But it's gone within days. It briefly reappeared a little bit, but that one was hard to find, man.
You talking about one of the covers or the whole thing?
No, the whole thing.
What?
Yeah.
Hold on.
You're checking Diamond right now.
Yeah, I am. Huh? Yeah, the main cover and the variant, they are both on back order.
I just like it how Ryan just doesn't want to believe me and interrupts the whole podcast and looking it up just to prove me wrong, but I'm right.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I did not realize that went so fast. That's crazy. I totally would have ordered.
No, it literally went within days, Ryan. Days. Because I was preparing to order it, and it went within days.
Weird. I know I've had a couple customers ask.
So I wonder if
they're redoing the X-Men ones, and I've actually had a few people ask for the variant on X-Men, the one that has like the classic cover, because they kind of mix up how that works. So
yeah.
Interesting.
There's actually quite a few of those that are just disappearing right off the bat, man. It's a little scary.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't Marvel cutting back on their production, like cutting to the bone? So could they?
No, these would have been in production well before.
So do you think they just had a super low print run and nobody knew, and I'm fucked?
Maybe. I mean, I have to assume, John Byrne She-Hulk's not going to be the hottest seller on Earth, but people go fucking gaga for those omnibuses. So
awesome She-Hulk.
Wonder why they did he? Oh, I guess he probably didn't draw those other ones. That's why it's kind of a weird.
Oh, it's because John Byrne wasn't on like he got pissed off.
Yeah,
and he left that book for like a good while, and then he came back.
Yeah, I guess it is 31 through 50, not 47 though. What's in She-Hulk 47?
Is that the guy who took pictures of her?
No. Yeah, he just didn't do it. It was a felon, so that's why. Yeah.
I think the other thing too is like I think with stuff like that run of She-Hulk, I think people want an omnibus of all of it.
No, dude, it's John Byrne is what made that special. Are you kidding me? I want
the rest
John Byrne stuff. That's what was special. I mean, I may want all the covers to be included because he did covers for a while too, but no, I mean John Byrne is what made that book special, and I don't want the other stuff in there, man. Don't taint the book, man.
Yeah, but the thing is you have to look at people who are completionists. Like they want to complete the run.
You're wrong on this one, man. You're wrong on this one.
With this, it is She-Hulk by John Byrne, so people know exactly what they're getting. This isn't the She-Hulk omnibus. Right. This is the John Byrne omnibus.
No, but trust me, the non-John Byrne one don't even fit. Like they don't. There's a whole style. There's a whole the way he wrote it, the way he drew it. Yeah, I don't want that other stuff in there.
So he says also, Tyler says, with things opening up a bit, especially the store, if I have something to send your way, would everyone be able to get the things I've sent? Yes, Tyler, yes, we are open. You have been way too good to us in the past, but no conventions. You've been stockpiling? You've been holding on to stuff for us? What are you doing? That reminds me. I got to go over to Graffiti. I got to see if they put up any more of those variants. I don't know if they dumped everything or if they added more. I gotta check.
Oh, did you open Jim's package, by the way?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
You got something there for you, too.
Talking about con exclusives. So some of them show up at Target, and then I guess Gambit is one of the exclusives, the little Funko Pop, which, I tried to tell myself not to buy anymore, but it's Gambit, and there was Rogue, and I was like, fuck, they got me again. So I grabbed them, and I went to the register, tried to pay for them, and then it said, oh, you need help. I'm like, no, not really, but all right, I need help. Lady came over, and she scanned it again in some special way, and she goes, oh, I can't sell these to you. They're not on sale till tomorrow. I was like, what the hell? I was like, well, why did you put them out then? So she flat out just took them from me. And then she
What?
put them, she just put them somewhere else. Of course, the next day they were nowhere to be found.
Of course.
Yeah,
That sucks.
yeah, that's all right. I don't need more stuff.
You can find them on eBay.
I don't need more stuff.
From John, he says, did anyone else giggle like a schoolgirl the potential Michael Keaton being recast as Bruce Wayne in DCEU? And we talked about this. But it'd be fun. It'd be fun. Like I said, I don't want it to become a Batman movie. It's a Flash movie. Have it be the Flash. That's all I'm saying.
What if Keaton is only in there for a scene?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He can kind of be like the Leonard Nimoy in like the Star Trek reboot, right?
Yeah.
Where he has an important role, but he's not really in the movie for very much, right?
Yeah.
Chris Bunch says, who's the better martial artist, Batman or Karate Kid? Oh, I don't know. If Karate Kid's not the better martial artist, what the hell is he doing with his life?
A better question is, who's the better martial artist between Karate Kid and 1-2-3 Kid?
I'm assuming he also means the Legion of Superhero member Karate Kid and not 80s.
Oh, not Ralph Macchio?
Not 80s TV, 80s movie superstar Karate Kid. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. He might be talking about Ralph Macchio.
Oh.
What do you think? If it was Ralph Macchio or Batman, who's the better martial artist?
No, Karate
Batman.
Kid.
Sweep the leg.
Name. It's a kid. You have to move against that man. That kid was a Karate Kid. My money might be on Karate Kid. Karate Kid versus Batman. Sorry. Just in the name alone, man.
And finally, I'm going to record our shortest podcast ever here, except unless Toby has something to drag this out for another 2 hours.
Fast and Furious style for 80 more minutes.
Craig Anderson's question is, I have no question this week.
Oh!
But
Wants to talk about binding.
how about something from the mailbag?
Ooh.
Let's say June 2017.
Yeah.
See, now the problem is very shortly we're going to start running out of these because we just don't get too many emails anymore because we don't read them.
People are giving up on it.
So June 20, I got some. June 2017. Okay, where are we? June.
So for
June
listeners,
30. Okay, here we go.
just send something, anything, and it potentially will be down the road something we look at.
Sad.
Ryan's diving into the abyss that is our
Did
email.
I not do this?
Oh, did you not sort it?
Did Josh Redding? Did I never do this? Do you have any idea?
Josh Redding might actually still be listening. Maybe. I'm actually not sure.
Did we never do the things Bryce is obsessed with bracket?
No.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did. Because it was like soccer versus beer, and it was like X-Men versus...
Yeah. Did we?
Yeah.
Well, he has Cable versus the rest of the X-Men, Chris Claremont versus Jim Lee, Beer versus Boba T, the way Toby says Ryan Reynolds versus Hamilton,
Excuse me.
X-Ladies versus Discovering Where Hope Is.
What?
Okay, maybe let's just have a little fun, shall we? Let's see what the winner is. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Okay, well, we're going to do this, but we have to do another one because if this is a repeat, it doesn't count.
To the old one.
What's that?
Someone is going to have to dig up the old one to compare to the old one.
Yeah, I have some vague... I would have deleted this.
No, we did it. We totally did it.
Didn't we do it?
Okay. No, I'm gonna. Okay, we will. We'll skip them. We'll skip them.
Didn't we do it on Bryce's last episode before he moved?
Let's just see what we come up this time. The last one, there's humor in that too. Let's do it. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's bring it on.
We can do this and another one. That's fine.
Let's do the bracket. Cable versus the rest of the X-Men.
Cable.
No, I think the rest of the
X-Men. I think the rest of the X-Men because number one is Charlie. Number one fan is Charlie after all.
I'm trying to give some cable love to the number two Cable fan.
So me and Toby will go with the rest of the X-Men. Chris Claremont, Jim Lee.
Oh.
I think he chooses Claremont.
I think so too. I think Claremont also.
Sorry, Brock.
Is it only
whatever.
one-sided bracket? Is it not two-sided? It's only from one side to
No, I'm going left. I'm gonna do the top ones. I'm gonna do the top, and then we're gonna narrow it down.
Got it.
So the rest of the X-Men versus Chris Claremont, who does he care more about? I mean, I still think it's
the X-Men.
The
X-Men.
Yeah. Okay. So X-Men takes top left. So beer versus boba. I think
Beer.
I'm going beer.
Beer.
I'll get this question now. Now this one. Does he prefer the way Toby says Ryan Reynolds or the
Reynolds?
Hamilton soundtrack?
Hamilton soundtrack.
What was that?
Hamilton soundtrack.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hamilton.
Yeah. Toby doesn't give us the Ryan Reynolds. So
Fuck them.
Hey, Leanne, does Bryce prefer beer or the Hamilton soundtrack more?
If you had asked me a couple of years ago, I would have said the Hamilton soundtrack. So if you asked me in
oh
2017,
jeez.
Oh no, it's beer. Come on
I
now.
think if you ask me now, I'd say he's tired of the Hamilton soundtrack.
Okay.
So beer.
Beer. All right.
I say it's beer to begin with.
Okay. So we have the X-Men versus beer. That is the left bracket. That is a.
Oh.
Whoa.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Can we just imagine for 2 seconds Bryce having this dilemma about Bryce for 45 fucking minutes? Just to be clear though,
Self for the
he
next.
will be drinking beer while he's doing this.
I was gonna say, yeah. I'm sure. Well, see, I think Bryce liked the X-Men before he had beer, so I'm gonna say I'm gonna go X-Men. Maybe we said beer the first time, but I'm gonna go X-Men this time.
I don't know about this one, man. This is tough.
Well, Ryan,
You have to remember.
He's
Bryce
a dad now. That beer helps.
No, but his friends are mostly normal too. So he probably may prefer beer in his real life. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Now,
Is
what
there
if he's
a-
drinking?
Can
What
I
if he's
come back?
drinking beer out of an X-Men pint glass?
That doesn't count, dude.
Well,
It's
let's
beer
go to the
with-
right bracket. Let's go X-Ladies versus discovering where Hope is. I mean, I know he loves Hope, but I'm pretty sure he likes the X-Ladies more.
Yeah, X-Ladies.
I was going to say Hope.
Really?
But you guys, yeah, 2-2-1. We'll go
I'm
with
gonna go X-Ladies. Now, here's a hard one: shouting versus pounding on the table.
Shouting.
Shouting is
Shouting.
the answer. Yes. Yeah.
Shouting happens, then the pounding. So it's like thunder and lightning, right?
X-Ladies versus shouting. I don't think Bryce can live without shouting.
No,
that is
he
just
has to
how he
shout.
talks.
Yeah.
So I'll go shouting in that bracket.
One of these days, we need to have Bryce do this himself. So we have a
It'd be really funny if he actually did do this and I just completely forgotten. All right, soccer versus hero clicks. I mean, I think soccer. I mean, he loves hero clicks, but soccer is his life.
Yeah.
So
that's no
soccer.
contest.
Yeah.
Because with soccer, you can drink beer.
Rotten Tomatoes and hating DC. Now, his hatred of DC is purely fictitious because he actually really likes DC.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes.
Wait, hate? He doesn't hate Rotten Tomatoes.
No, liking Rotten Tomatoes or hating DC Comics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he actually, like, yes, while it is a funny joke, and yes, while we do go on about this a lot, he actually buys and reads DC Comics. He hates DC the way I hate Marvel. He actually doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
Soccer versus Rotten Tomatoes.
Soccer.
Pretty clearly soccer. So we have shouting versus soccer.
Shouting.
Soccer.
Shouting.
Really?
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, sports does something to a person. You can't live without it.
But shouting is
That's Bryce.
just his
volume.
volume.
Yeah, but to him, that's just talking. He doesn't even know.
He's not obsessed with shouting. That's just what he does.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with soccer, but
oh no, I'm there with you. Okay. And so if we go beer and X-Men, was that the original one you think we came up with? Was beer versus soccer?
I guess so.
Maybe.
Okay, Ryan.
Wow, beer versus soccer.
Yeah, he would just do both at the same time.
You would rather give up a left nut.
Well, why don't we say beer versus soccer and we'll leave it there. Why don't we post this on the group?
Dude, we totally have to post this on the group, man.
I'll post this on the group and have Bryce fill it out. And if we actually did answer this back in like 27, because I remember something like this, but I thought
there are a handful of listeners that have just plowed through our entire catalog, so it's fresh in their minds.
But was it this exact same one?
I don't know that.
Okay, I know we've done one of these, or a couple of these, but I don't remember if it was.
We start tracking out what our key episodes are.
Well, I tend to delete them after that, so that's why. No, not the episodes, the emails. That's why I wondered, like, did I already read this? Because I would have deleted it if I did. So, well,
Facebook group, we're gonna have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Do we have an email to read?
So that was fun. So let's call it.
No, read an email.
That was a very nice, short. That wasn't even. That was an email.
No, that was us not knowing if we did or not, so we did it anyway. Read an actual email.
No, that was the email. So
bonus email.
Bonus, come on.
Email.
2 against 1.
Yeah. I had a couple emails from that same time. Let me see if I have another one at the same time.
Yeah, it doesn't count when we answer the same email again.
Well, I'm not going to delete it this time, but I will delete it after. So here's one. Nick Harrison asked.
This is June, 2017. Right? June
2017. So remember how crazy these were at that time. What's your opinion of the massive fire sales on Amazon and Kindle Comixology for the Marvel trades and graphic novels? Some books were discounted between 75 and 95% off cover price. Is this actually a serious danger to the direct market?
Well,
and that's funny. What's that?
Ryan's still in business, so I don't think that was a...
Yeah, it didn't go out of business 3 years ago.
Well, that's funny. That was when they got rid of about the time they got rid of the storefront, right?
That was later, but a little bit later.
When did they officially get rid of the storefront?
2019 or something like that. It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, okay.
But they had some. I don't know if that was just to try to get people that are reading comics onto Comixology or onto Amazon. Like, I don't know the motivation for that. But those sales were.
Wasn't that Legacy was out?
Yeah, but that wouldn't be why they did it. I have to assume they were just wanted to get bodies to sign up for Comixology and to read it digitally, because there's no reason to explain pricing. But yeah,
Toby bought a shitload of stuff when they did that.
It probably caused the opposite. It caused Toby to buy more physical graphic novels.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you one thing about buying physical and what I regret buying physical versus digital. As I may or may not jump to the digital revolution, which I was dreading for many, many years because I didn't want this day to come. But in hindsight, I never regretted buying any physical comic books. Like any trades, any hardcovers. As a guy that's totally hunting down stuff that I'm missing, I do not regret print. However, as a guy that's been massively collecting music in the 90s, and all music being digital now, as a guy that's massively was collecting DVDs and Blu-rays, I knew the day was going to come where I have to make the switch. I have a wall of Blu-rays and DVDs that I'm like, holy shit, this might have to become digital. While I do not regret the books, because the book I just enjoy in print more, just, my way of, enjoying the product, the digital screen just doesn't do it for me.
It's the tangibleness of it.
Well, but watching a movie on the TV digitally makes no difference to me. In fact, it's actually easier. I'm like sometimes too lazy to get the discs and watch it with the commercials. So in hindsight, I should have bought even more comics and more books, but less movies. So
I think for me, it was collecting, right? I mean, especially with the movies, but there's just when it's digital. God, I'm like this with the video games now. They're sort of meaningless, right? You have no connection to them. You have no attachment to them. My endless library of Steam and PlayStation Now or PlayStation Plus and itch.io and all these humble bundles. It's just this stuff is meaningless, and so I just don't have the attachment. I would prefer to buy the physical Blu-rays, burn them, and make a nice Plex server. It is much easier to watch them than pulling out the physical discs.
Yeah.
But I do like my collection of my favorite stuff. So,
well, but
you're different, Toby, because you buy
everything.
You bought a lot of random stuff, and I stopped that a long time ago.
Well, I mean, to you, it's random. I had reasons for every single one of them. Maybe like a very, very few were complete blind buys, but it was either I liked the actors, or I liked the filmmaker, or I liked the writer, or I heard something great about it. So everything had its reason when I bought it.
Sure, but I mean, my collection is superhero stuff, and while there's a lot, it's not to the limit of what you bought from. Nobody used to.
I mean, here's where I wanted to break it down, right? Because when I knew this day was going to come, I was like, well, maybe just my favorites and the superhero stuff under cartoons I'll keep physical. Like any Joe Schmo movie that I watch once and may watch once again in the future, it'll be just digital. I don't care about that.
Yeah, I used to have an absolutely massive library of physical DVDs.
I hit 1,000 DVDs at one point.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem, and here's where I'm finding myself big time. Birds of Prey is $9.99, 4K HDR right now digitally.
Yeah. And
I'm like, the problem is if that was some Joe Schmo movie, I would just buy the digital and I'm like, oh well, this is the way I'm going to buy movies from now on. But because it's a superhero movie, it questions my entire collection. Because now I'm like, well, if I buy it digitally, I will not buy it physically. Well, at least not unless it's dirt cheap. But even if I buy it physically, then what am I going to do with the digital code of it? So it questions everything at this point.
I'm baffled that you don't rip it all, have 100 terabyte Plex server, and there you go. It's best of both worlds.
My dream, Ryan. But every time I look at the damn wall, I just turn around and going, this is insane.
I'm halfway through my collection. I every couple weeks, I'm like, cool, gonna burn another 10 DVDs today, or 10 Blu-rays. And you just do it slowly over time. It's not something you're gonna do but you start at A and you just set it while you're dicking around on the computer and burn them. I love Plex. I love doing that stuff.
Plex. I've been on Plex users ever since the beginning. But man, I have a wall. I mean, a vinyl collector has, vinyls up the wazoo. I got movies. The entire wall strip, man. It's a little scary.
Yeah. Start burning, man. Just start burning.
But then what do you do with the discs? Do you get rid of them, or?
You sell them if you really want to. Well, you can take the discs, toss the cases, throw them in binders, throw them in your garage or something if you really want to hold on to them.
Space. Yeah.
But I kind of what's the point at that point?
Yeah, at that point, it's like you might as well get rid of it, right? So
sell them. You lose them. You just torrent them, right? I mean, be very honest. You're buy digitally again. You've already had it, right? You sort of lose that connection to the physical one once you box it up and put it away.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. Some of them, like the ones I never get around to, I look at their digital prices. I'm like, well, if I could sell the physical for the same price, I may just rebuy it digital and never open it.
Yeah. My problem with the digital though is lack of ownership, and you bought it, but now it's gone away. Oh, you don't have access to it anymore, right?
Yeah, I have a big problem with all of that. Trust me. Yeah. I mean, my biggest problem with some of it, look, Better Luck Tomorrow, the Justin Lin movie, only existed on DVD. If you want a 1080 copy, it has to be digital only.
Yeah.
An independent movie called Keaton Cowboys that made a feature based on a web series, digital only. A couple of my independent movies that I really like, Blind Spotting was $4 digital for the entire movie versus, $15 on Blu-ray. I'm like, at that point, it's a no-brainer to buy digital. So I'm really torn. And, some of these independent movies, I watch once, I enjoy it, watch all the making ofs. I probably won't watch it again for a few years. So why have the physical space being taken away? So I don't know, man. I'm super torn. I mean, I'm a big physical guy, not literally, but I'm a physical collector.
Yes, I understand.
But at some point, I questioned the space issue, and as much as I love my movies and my shows, eventually I'm gonna make some hard decisions.
Yeah.
They're all my children somehow. Not
geez.
really. They're all my bot children.
All right. That is a podcast. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you for your questions.
Patience of years in enduring a wait for getting emails answered.
But keep sending them.
If you would like to follow us on Patreon and give us some money, support us over there, patreon.com/comic conspiracy. As little as $1 a month. You can help support this podcast, get some cool shout outs. Next week is our last episode of the month. So
What?
we still have one. Next week is our last episode of the month.
I was like, shit, did I miss something? We're done?
No. Yeah, it's over. The podcast is ending. We're ending at the cool 4:58, just randomly.
I thought it was 4:57.
No.
Ryan, be honest. Do you have an end game plan? Like, is 899 the end, or the 1000th episode, and then
No.
a reboot?
Trust me. I wish every episode was our final episode. Okay, I just.
He wishes at the end.
I was talking to Leanne. I was like, remember when there was the pandemic and the riots and like we didn't record? Oh, that was a great week. Week.
What Ryan is really saying, Brock, he doesn't really like chatting with us.
No, I do. It's just, it never ends. Never. It's always something to talk about. It never ends.
That's part of the beast.
It's Tuesdays are long days. That's all I'm saying. I love this podcast.
So at what point are we going to regenerate it into different characters?
Huh? Patreon.com/comic-conspiracy. So you can kick us a couple bucks. Like our high tier backers, Joe Duff, Andrew Nelson Mendez at Recovery of an Anime Junkie podcast. Go check that one out. Craig Anderson at CraigPAnderson.com. Thank you for your non-question, Craig. James Laws, Jimmy Rivera at the Social Forum podcast. So that's FOURUM. Jesse Peterson at the Comic Book Matters podcast. It's a podcast about comic books impact us and change our lives. I'm sure you have a lot to say about comic industry this week. And Mr. Rama over at Hellboy_ebooks on Twitter. He talks about his pull list every Tuesday, as well as Chav. Just Chav. Thank you, guys. Chav. And we have one more week of our June Patreon. Of course, all the high tier backers, we refresh at the start of every month. So on that July 7th episode, we'll thank all our wonderful new backers at the high tier level, as well as all our $5 and up backers. So thank you all very much. If you'd like to hear our previous episodes, you can always find them at comicconspiracypodcast.com, geekbox.net, Apple Podcast, and Spotify, or youtube.com/comicsconspiracy. That's comics with an S. And if you would like to have your question read in 3 to 5 years, go to send us an email to thecomicconspiracy@geekbox.net. Why don't you write us questions right now to thecomicconspiracy@geekbox.net, theorizing what's going to happen in a couple years, and then make a note.
How did we like 5G?
Make a note on your phone. Like, I have an alarm on my phone for Wednesday, February 24th, 2021, to see if Rob Liefeld was correct and is DC Comics out of business. That was his prediction. Wednesday, February 24th, 2021.
That's a very specific date.
He said in a year, DC Comics will be out of business. Let's see if he's correct. I got my alarm set. I look at it every couple days.
Nerd.
Just
such a nerd, Ryan.
Just waiting to see if DC's out of business. Well, I mean, they do have their September solicitations up now. So September, November, December, January, February, we're less than half a year away from DC Comics being out of business. Comics conspiracy.
I don't think TC's going anywhere, especially with like the stuff that Tom King's writing that's coming out.
.biz is our storefront. You can go buy comics on there, and we'll mail them to you. You can also pick them up in store. That's always nice. Go to conspiratobrock.com. That's Brock's blog, video pull list, and unboxing videos, as well as Wanderers in the Fourth Dimension podcast. That's Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. And LeanneHill.com. That is my wife Leanne's website. You can also find her prints available at etsy.com/shop/LeanneHillArt. If you're on Twitter, Please follow all of us, Ryan Higgins, Ryan, Brock Sager, Toby XI, and Comics Con Store. That is the store. I do the Geek Box every Monday. Talked about Last of Us Part 2 this week.
Are you even going to play that game?
Oh, wait, you're on the Geek Box.
You are the Geek Box now.
Leanne's playing it as I speak. I was very not super impressed with Last of Us Part 1. So I thought it was pretty generic.
I saw your Leanne request out in the Twitter world of her needing a puppet that she sticks a stick into the head and being inverted. That was
for her inverter controls. Yes. But Leanne wanted to play it, so what should we talk about? Yeah, we talk about other stuff.
Talk about Charlie's Doctor Who podcast. Are you up to date on that stuff?
Doctor Who?
Yeah,
I've watched every episode.
Do you like the new stuff?
That's all right. This last season was pretty good. Better than the first, I thought.
Somehow I didn't get spoiled on Ruth, and I'm not going to say who she is, but I just made it to that episode, and I was kind of bored before that, but man, I really loved that episode.
On who?
Ruth?
The other lady?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, luckily I didn't get spoiled on that, because...
Did I get... I mean...
Huh?
Well, we'll talk off air. I feel like... Did I forget something? Yeah, no, I thought the season was a lot better than the first season. I liked the first season, but I thought the second season was better.
Oh, I could never finish the first season. I mean,
also listen to the Manga Machinations podcast. I've done that a few times. Talk about manga. They talk about manga and anime over there. So go check that out. Okay, that is all I've got. We are going to wrap up now.
Brock, this guy is just ignoring me. Did you see that?
Oh, I know he's ignoring you.
Me? What would you say?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
Okay. We'll talk about Doctor Who off air.
All right.
We're going to stop this recording now. Thank you all. We'll see you next week.